Hello friends, welcome to follow up. In this video, we are going to analyze problem 2351, first letter to appear twice. This video or this problem is a continuation of problem 387. So the common thing is that we are still use dictionary or data type to solve problem. So in this problem, we are given a string S consisting of lowercase English letters. We want to find the first letter to appear twice, right? So here, it's very important to notice that a letter A appears twice before another letter B if the second occurrence of A is before the second occurrence of B, right? So here, S will contain at least one letter that appears twice. So the second node basically guarantees a valid return, right? So in example 1, so if we check, A appears many times. So the first occurrence is here and the second occurrence here. And then B, the second occurrence here. But C, though the first occurrence is behind A and B, but the second occurrence is before the second occurrences of B or C, right? So in this problem, we're going to return C. So here in S, so we have A, B, C appears just once and D appears twice only, so we return D. So here the length is very small, it's bounded above by 100, and S consists lowercase English letters. So this one actually is not essential for this problem or for the logic we are going to use. Here S has at least one repeated letter. This gives us a valid return, right? So with that said, we are ready to look at coding. So basically, similar to this problem, 387. So we are going to first get some statistics for the character frequencies, right? And then we can find the first one. So here we can get this, the D collections, because here we not only focusing on the indices, the frequencies. We want to know compare the second index if a letter appears twice. So here I'm going to use default dictionary. So I'm going to pass it to a list. This list is a callable, right? You can understand it as a function, right? So in other words, if you retrieve value, it's for a key. If the key is not inside the D yet, so you are going to default with an empty list, right? So that's the merit. So here later I'm going to make one more remark on this, right? So once we have this information, right, we can do a linear scan, because we also need to focus on the indices. So we're going to do for I character in enumerate. So S, right? So this will give a tuple of index and the corresponding character. And then what we want to do is we can D character, because this guy, D character is nothing but a list object. Then we can append the corresponding index, right? So for each character, if it appears more than once, then in this D character, this is a list, then we can retrieve the index at index 1, right? This is corresponding to the index for the character appeared second time. So once we have this information, so we get all the statistics, then we want to find the mean index, right? So because we want to find the smallest one, and then we can set it to be length S, right? If you want to make it double safe, you can add 1, or you can add anything after you like. So let's just use this one, right? Because the largest index in the S will be length minus 1. So this is already very large. So what we are going to do, let's set also the result is none, right? And then we are going to iterate. So for character, and so the IDX list in the items, right? So we look at the character, and then we filter out those which appears at least twice, right? So basically, if length of this IDX list is greater than 1, which means it's greater than or equal to 2, which we can get the mean index. So mean, let's see, so let's basically test if IDX list. So the second occurrence, in other words, the index and the index 1 here. If it's less than the min IDX, so we are going to set min IDX to be IDX list at index 1. And then we can reset the result to be the current character, right? So here we don't need to consider the equal case. The reason is that the ID list actually contains a partition of the numbers from 0 to length s minus 1. So there's no chance to be equal, right? So we can always do this. So once we finish this for loop, we just need to return the state of this result. So the reason we can directly do this from the other side, or just a sanity check, is the assumption that s has at least one repeated letter. In other words, the result must be not none, right? So now let's do a test. Yeah, we have first example passed. So now let's look at the generic case. Yeah, it passes all the cases. So this actually finished the problem. So or we described one way or one format of solutions. So here, let me make some comment. So this is the one way to use the default dictionary, right? Let me copy this and comment out. So you can also do it like this. So here you can pass the callable like this lambda function. So you don't write an argument here. You just map everything to be a list. Let's say to be an empty list, or you can write like this, right? It's the same thing. You can put. So this will play the same effect as this line of code. Let me do a quick test. Yeah, so this is the one way. So another way, so if you're not very familiar with this way of coding, so you can do a vanilla thing. So you initialize a dictionary, right? Then you do iteration for, let's see, I'll call this one here, because this for loop is associated with the above two operations of initializing d. So here I'm also commenting this out. So I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do it from scratch. So for I character in enumerate s, right? So what I'm going to do is that if a character in d, right? So we know it should be a dictionary. So we want to do d character, then append the current I, right? Otherwise, so we just d character equals a list containing the current index, right? So this piece of code have the same effect of this commented ones. Of course, you just need to use one line in the first two lines, right? Let's do a quick test. Yeah, it passes all the cases. I guess with that said, that's about it for the current video. So you are welcome to follow up our channel to practice different kinds of problems, or check out different playlists for solving a specific type problem, like binary search, like monotonic stack, like dynamic programming. So with that said, I guess that's it. Thank you.